Quite frankly, it was the Iranian regime that was duplicitous in this entire process. Its demise and its departure, a regime change, I think would be in the best interest of many, not just the United States, but I think most importantly for the Iranian people. Well, I wouldn't say it's destabilizing the region outside Iran. It's certainly destabilizing the regime that really is the worst offender of global terrorism and certainly has been a malign effect and regional influence for many years. And I think you're seeing many Middle Eastern countries now pushing back against Iran as it lashes out recklessly to all of its neighbors. But clearly, the nature of the regime is something to which it's a threat to its neighbors. It is an enemy, repeatedly stated as an enemy of the United States. So its demise and its departure, a regime change, I think would be in the best interest of many, not just the United States, but I think most importantly for the Iranian people who have been chafing for decades, well over a decade, for a regime change of their own. And that's the regime change that should be supported and an opportunity provided so the Iranian people can take back their country. Well, the Iranians have been stalling and not providing any concessions, and the U.S. position was very clear and unchanging what was required. No uranium enrichment, no nuclear weapons program, curtailment of their ballistic weapons program, no support to their proxies in the region, and also not killing their protesters on the streets. None of these were something the regime was willing to concede to. And those were the demands. That was the negotiation. The regime chose to try to delay and chose not to provide any meaningful concession. So, quite frankly, it was the Iranian regime that was duplicitous in this entire process. And part of their strategy was to try to delay long enough that Washington would lose its attention and we would find ourselves in domestic political midterm elections. And again, a very bad play on their part, and they're paying the consequence right now. No, that you don't have to subscribe. That's a very, I think, dangerous thinking is what's gotten many countries into trouble in the past. The Iranian people have a lot of independence and ability to control their own future and destiny. Have faith in that. Not that it requires the United States military to roll in and to dictate terms or to pick a leader. The Iranian people, I think, have more than the capability and the capacity to figure that on their own. The United States and its allies and the neighbors around Iran right now just need to make sure that there's enough space, that the right type of popular new leader that represents the will of the Iranian people, and also one in which wants to live in safety and security with its neighbors, comes to the forefront. But it doesn't require an invasion, and I think that's the last thing on anyone's mind. No, I was not surprised. It was pretty clear what the Iranian regime's intentions were. They were not going to give the necessary concessions. It was just a matter of time. It was a matter of how and what would be the trigger. And apparently, as we know now, it was the gathering of all of the senior leadership in Tehran earlier today that was the opportunity to strike. And so that began this current exchange of hostilities and hopefully turns a page in a new future for Iran. Well, it's neither of those. It's not going to be quick. The revolution in '79 took a year. It was messy. God willing, this one won't take that long. I think the Iranian people know what they want, and they just need to rally around a common cause, a common leader and group, and they should be able to very quickly bring about a new government. Not a year, I hope, but not in days either. The diplomatic solution is not one that should be giving this regime, this theocratic dictatorship, any type of benefit or support. It needs to be continually pressured to be moved aside and allow the Iranian people. Perhaps even a peaceful transfer of power could be negotiated. But again, the odds of that is extremely small.